On behalf of the Department of Chemistry and Physics, I happily welcome the guest of honor, Professor Dr. G. Ravi, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Alagappa University, Karaikudi, Dr. Christiana Singh, the Principal and Secretary, Merido College, Madurai. I also welcome Dr. R. Nima Elizabeth, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Physics, Dr. V. Sridevi, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry, the conveners of FMSEE, Dr. S. K. Suja, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Dr. Arogya Shamla, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, for the International Conference FMSEE'23. Proverbs 16:20 says, "Whoever gives heed to instruction prospers, and blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord." Now may I kindly invite Dr. Rani Roslin, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, to begin the valedictory session with prayer.
May we all stand for prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to the throne of grace through your Son Jesus Christ. With a grateful heart, we acknowledge that you are the source of every good and perfect gift. Thank you for your goodness, and we could eventually see your hand guiding us so far. We thank you earnestly for enabling us to conduct these 2 days international conference, gracing our sessions with honorable vice chancellors and experts of different universities and colleges, along with dignitaries from our institution as well. You have provided us with more than we could ever have imagined. As the Department of Chemistry and Physics, we gather here in your presence to give thanks for your abundant provisions. We give thanks unto the Lord, for you are good, and your mercy endures forever and ever. We need you and your presence, Lord, as we come to the close of the sessions. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, ma'am, for invoking the blessings of God. Louis Pasteur once said, "Science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is a torch which illuminates the world." To begin with, we have a welcome address and introduction of our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. G. Ravi, Vice Chancellor, Professor and Head, Department of Physics, by Dr. V. Sridevi, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of the Department of Chemistry and Physics, I take immense pleasure in welcoming each and every one of you to this great grand culmination of the two-day international conference on functional materials for sustainable energy and environment, FMSEE'23. At the outset, I extend a very warm welcome to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Alagappa University, Karaikudi, Dr. G. Ravi, an illustrious, learned, distinguished academician and a great researcher, for his august presence as a chief guest of this valedictory session. Welcome you, sir. I request our beloved Principal and Secretary, Dr. Christiana Singh, to honor our chief guest with a memento as a token of our love and gratitude. Please, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It's indeed a proud moment for me to say a few words about the eminence and excellence of our chief guest in the field of higher education and research. Sir has a very rich and high-profile research career in the field of nanomaterials and devices for supercapacitors, photocatalytic sensors and optoelectronic applications ever since he embarked his research journey since 1995. Professor Dr. Ravi has received several research grants from DST, UGC, AICTE, TNSE and ST, and was the coordinator of several funded projects in Alagappa University such as UGC SAP, DST FIST, DST PERS. Sir has published nearly 230 research papers in high impact factor journals with a H index of 28 and I-10 index of 73 and the total citations being 2,750. The distinctive awards and fellowships received by him includes Invited Special Researcher Award, National Institute for Material Science, Japan, Japan Society for the Promotion of Science Fellowship, Best Researcher Award, Alagappa University, Alagappa Excellence Award for Research by Alagappa University, Visiting Professor Invitation to Shizuoka University, Japan, between 2012 and 2019. Sir has widely traveled across many continents covering more than 35 countries like USA, Canada, England, Italy, France, Belgium, Netherlands, China, Taiwan, Mexico, South Africa, and the list goes on. And Sir also holds the additional responsibility as the head of the Department of Physics, Alagappa University, and was the Dean, Industry and Consultancy earlier. Sir, we are very much privileged and honored to have you as our chief guest for the day. Hearty welcome you too, sir. I also extend my heartfelt welcome to our beloved Principal and Secretary, Dr. Christiana Singh, the great pillar of support, source of motivation, and the cornerstone for the first of its kind event on this 75th year of our college. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your unstinted support, especially for the past 2 days for the successful conduct of this international conference. Hearty welcome, ma'am. I'm very happy to welcome the college administrators, our dear Vice Principal, Bursar, Chaplain, Deans of Academic Affairs, Controller of Examinations, Heads of the Department, Faculty members, students, research scholars, and all the national participants and international participants virtually for this conference. Welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your beautiful words of welcome and introduction. Now over to Dr. S.K. Suja, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, to give a brief introduction about releasing the conference proceedings.
A very good afternoon to one and all present here. And we are happy to inform you that the conference proceedings of this international conference on functional materials for sustainable energy and environment is published in the journal ASPAIR. ASPAIR abbreviates Arts and Science Publication in Research, is an in-house peer-reviewed multidisciplinary journal aims to bring together quality research articles in all disciplines, published periodically, with an ISSN number of 22294953. This conference proceedings is published in Aspire as a special issue jointly by the Department of Chemistry, Physics and J.X. Miller Library of our college. It has forward by principal and a vice principal and felicitations by Dr. Janakumar, Dr. John Kennedy and Dr. Sangaranachiyar. And it has the abstracts of 7 invited talks of eminent scientists from all over the world and 11 full-length contributory articles and 32 abstracts. All the articles were checked for plagiarism using Orkun software, and if it exceeds the permissible limit, and were revised and considered for publication later. It is peer-reviewed by both internal and external reviewers. The recognized research guides from Physics Department, Dr. Nimai Elizabeth, Associate Professor and Head, and Dr. S. Sindhika, Assistant Professor, and from Chemistry Department, Dr. V. Sridevi, Associate Professor and Head, and myself are the internal reviewers. And Dr. Sweta Rani, Department of Physics, Tyagarajar College, Madurai, and Dr. Rekha from UK, from Physics, and Dr. P. Kalimuthu, the Gandhigram Rural Institute, are the external peer reviewers of this conference proceedings. Aspire accepts research articles, reviews and short communications and conference proceedings as a special issue. For further details, please contact Lieutenant Dr. Sangaranachiyar, Senior Librarian of our college. And all these are possible because of the hard work and commitment of the faculty in charge of this conference proceedings. Dr. V. Sridevi, myself, Dr. G. Jayanti Kalaivani, Dr. S. Mahalakshmi, Dr. M. Anusha Rani, Dr. Nimma Elizabeth, Dr. M. Sharmila Banu, Dr. M. Sindhuja, Dr. S. Vijayalakshmi, all are faculty members. Hearty thanks to all of you. Now, I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Alagappa University, Karaikudi, to release the Aspire in-house journal special issue. I request the Head of the Department of Physics, Dr. Nimai Elizabeth, and Head of the Department of Chemistry, Dr. V. Sridevi, to hand over the journal to the Honorable Vice Chancellor for him to release. Now, I request our beloved Principal, Dr. Christiana Singh, to receive the first copy of the journal. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now let us all assemble here for a photo session. I request all our administrators to be on the dais, please.
Thank you, faculty members and the participants, for your cooperation. Moving on to next, we have valedictory address by Professor Dr. G. Ravi, Vice Chancellor, Professor and Head, Department of Physics, Alagappa University, Karaikudi.
Most respected and beloved principal of this great college, Dr. Sridevi, Associate Professor and Head Department of Chemistry, Mrs. Madhya, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Dr. Edil Arasi, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, and Dr. Nimma, Head of the Department of Physics, Lady Doak College, faculty members and my dear students, good afternoon to one and all present here. I am extremely happy to be here to deliver valedictory address. Of course, this place is not new to me. So this is the third time I am visiting your campus. So I had been a Board of Studies member once, and not only that, I did my +1, +2 at Madurai. That is a Union Christian school during 1980-82. So my entire study was in the Christian institutions, start from my 6th standard to my PG graduation. So I started my, that is the 6th standard from Lutheran Mission Christian School, Sirgazhi. Then 11th and 12th at UC Higher Secondary School, Madurai. Then later on I moved to Tranquebar Bishop Lutheran College, Porayar, and I continued my PG program in the same college. Then after that I moved to Anna University for my MPhil and then PhD program. So after completing my PhD at Anna University in 1994, I joined in Alagappa University as a lecturer in 1995, February. So almost 28 years I have been working in Alagappa University, and I got a chance to work as a Vice Chancellor in the month of August 2022. So actually my research work was started with crystal growth. So crystal growth is one of the very important field. Of course, many of you very well know about the crystal growth. So the countries which are very well developed are pioneering in crystal growth. So that's what I started my career as a crystal grower at Crystal Grower Center, Anna University, Chennai. Then crystal growth, of course, during my PhD program, so I could able to publish 7 research articles in highly reputed international journals. So during that period. Then after came to Alagappa University, I could continue my research work in crystal growth and then doing some work on thin films and then supercapacitors and then the recent field, that is energy field. So far I could able to publish 431 articles in reputed journals. So this, my biodata was not updated as read out by the professor. So my H index, the present H index is 42 and then I10 index is 221. So why I am telling this is, the place is not so important to do research. Even any place you can do very good research. So Alagappa University, that is situated in Karikudi. Karikudi is not a big urban area, you know, it's a very remote area. But after we joined in Alagappa University, there was a great momentum we took, and we take oath that we have to do research work sincerely and publish many articles. So the Alagappa University, as you know, it was started in the year 1985. So till 1995 there was no research at Alagappa University. So we 3 people came from Anna University and joined at Alagappa University in 1995. So at that time we have been given assignment that to do research by our former Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Ramasamy. So he was a very giant person in crystal growth, and he was the director at the Crystal Grower Center, Anna University. So after he assumed office as a Vice Chancellor at Alagappa University, he wanted to establish research activities at the rural area of Karikudi. So till 1995, all the faculty members were very much engaged with teaching. So Alagappa University is one of the best universities in teaching. Then slowly, after we inducted in Alagappa University, we started our research, and other faculty members also joined with us to do research. And at present, Alagappa University is one of the best universities in not only in Tamil Nadu, it is the second highest score obtained by NAC, that is a 3.64. So this thing happened only because of the research. So only if we concentrate on research, then only we can elevate our institution. So unless otherwise doing research, then it is not possible to bring our institute or college to the highest level. So the presently Alagappa University is having more than 12,000 articles which were published by the staff members, and the entire H index of Alagappa University is 100. So these things, actually we have been highly blessed by our founder, Alagappa Chettiar. So doing research is one thing, but other thing is doing help for the society, the rural society. That's most important. So in that aspect, Dr. Alagappa Chettiar, he did a very excellent job at Karaikudi. So you know the history of Alagappa Chettiar. So he earned a lot of money till his age of 38. So he had so many businesses. So once he realized, so what we have to do with money, then he decided to start the education institutions at Karaikudi. So he started from the scratch. So Alagappa Preparatory School, Alagappa Montessori School, Alagappa Model School, then Alagappa Polytechnic, Alagappa Engineering College, Alagappa Arts and Science College, then SICRI, Central Electrochemical Research, one of the very pioneering central government institution now. So all these institutions were established by Dr. Alagappa Chettiar within 10 years. Within 10 years. So he could be able to build so many buildings in Karaikudi, and he could make the Alagappa institutions as a hub for the socially deprived people. So now the Karaikudi is very well established in terms of research and teaching and so many things. So I take this opportunity to pay my tribute to Dr. Alagappa Chettiar in this event. So he spent all his wealth for the sake of education. He spent almost, even his house was used for starting the women's college at the last moment. He stayed only in a 10 by 10 room. So that too in the auditorium, which was built by him. So he spent all his money. So the present worth of the institution and the land worth and the building worth is about 25,000 rupees. Sorry, 25,000 crores rupees. 25,000 crores rupee. So such a very great philanthropist, such a great socio-economist. So he was rightly called by Jawaharlal Nehru. He was a socio-economist. So I am really very much proud to be a member of Alagappa institution at present, and I could get a chance to work as a Vice Chancellor in the same university. I feel so proud that being a member of Alagappa family. So why I am telling this is, so doing research and doing teaching, so this is one part. The another part, we have to do something for the society. So in that aspect, really I am very much gifted, And as I already pointed out, as far as my research is concerned, I started my career with crystal growth, and presently we have been concentrating on the energy material. So the 2 days international conference, I heard that it went on very well. So the energy material, of course, it's a very important topic. Nowadays the energy demand is increasing, but at the same time the source for the energy, presently we are using fuel, that is fossil fuels. So the fossil fuels is getting depleted, so that we have to find the alternate way to generate energy. Even in the worldwide, nearly 17.5% of the people are starving for energy. So the energy requirement is huge. So fortunately we are really gifted. Our Tamil Nadu is really gifted state. So if we go to the northern state, we cannot find the proper electricity. So the many students are living with that is a kerosene lamp. So you can see very pathetic situation in North India and some other countries in Africa. So we need energy. We need energy by renewable energy sources. So in that aspect, of course, we are doing good research in that aspect. So energy, the renewable energy sources, there are different ways to get the energy from renewable sources. But the recent topic was the perovskite solar cell. So that is one of the method to harvest energy from the solar cell. That is a perovskite solar cell. Of course, you know the solar cell which is made by the semiconductors. So semiconductor, mostly the silicon semiconductors are very well used. And as far as the solar cell is concerned, we can divide into 3 parts. The first classification is using that is silicon solar cell. Then the second classification will be compound semiconductor, that is a 3-5 compound semiconductor. And the third part is using the novel material. So under the novel material, this perovskite solar cell and disensite solar cell and the organic solar cells, these are all comes under the third category. So the solar cell using the silicon, normally it's a PN junction diode. So PN diode means we can have N-type and P-type semiconductor. So when you excite the medium with sunlight, then the charge separation will take place. That is electrons and holes separation. And if you connect it to the external load, then the electricity you can obtain from the PN junction. And similarly for gallium arsenide and indium phosphide, this is the second class of material. So these materials can be used in the space applications. But in the third category, actually the silicon and the gallium arsenide, so that can be used with a very limited spectrum of light. But if you want to use the large spectrum of light, so we need a new material. So in that case, the perovskite solar cell is the only option. So the perovskite solar cell, the perovskite is the name of the scientist. So perovskite, that is normally called ABX3, that's the structure, ABX3. So there are 2 factors, tolerance factor and octahedral factor, which determines whether the perovskite material can be used for the solar applications. So if it is having some limit, the tolerance factor and octahedral factor, then we can very well use it for the solar applications, light applications. So in this case, we have chosen a material of tin oxide. Tin oxide is the base material. So the tin oxide, we have doped some dopants like lanthanum and aluminium. lanthanum and aluminium. So as I already pointed out, we can use the entire spectrum of light for the perovskite. The main thing is we can have the flexible substrate as the solar device as far as perovskite solar cell is concerned. So previously people used titanium oxide for perovskite solar cell, but the titanium oxide, the issue is we have to heat it to high temperature. We have to make it 250 degrees Celsius. But when you use titanium oxide at 250 degrees Celsius, then we cannot use the flexible substrate. But nowadays everywhere we require the flexible substrate. So in that case, we have chosen the tin oxide and doped with aluminum and lanthanum. So tin oxide, which is having a very large band gap, so that is a very important phenomena. And then when we dope aluminum and lanthanum, that improves the band gap further. So that is a 3.8 to 4.1 electron volt. That could be that kind of band gap one can obtain by doping aluminum and lanthanum. And the thing is, when you have the solar cell, there are 4 parameters. Of course, the audience, those who are sitting here, are the physics and chemistry people, you know very well. So the output circuit voltage and short circuit current density, fill factor, and then the photo conversion efficiency. These are all the 4 parameters. So if you have very high PCE, that is a photo conversion efficiency, then we can very well use it for the application side. So previously people used the silicon as the solar cell. So the silicon, we can use it in different forms: amorphous form, polycrystalline form, and then single crystalline form. But mostly where we can see the solar panel, that is made up of the polycrystalline silica. So the polycrystalline silica is a very cheaper one, but if you go for the single crystalline silica, the cost will be more. You know, the crystal growers are very well know. To make a single crystal, it involves large patience, and it involves very high temperature, and we have to heat the material to very high temperature and cool it down to the very progressive manner. So the cost involved for making the single crystalline silica is more. So that's what people prefer the polycrystalline silica. But if you have a single crystalline silica, you can go up to 45%. That is a PCE value. Latest reported photo conversion efficiency is 45%. But when you use the polycrystalline silica, one can go up to 22%. That is the maximum efficiency one can obtain. So again, the thing is, we cannot use this material for many applications. And if you use the perovskite solar cell, as I already pointed out, the lanthanum and aluminum, that improves the transparency. That is a very important factor. So the aluminum, that enhances the transparency of the material, and that enhances the mobility of the carriers, and the charge density, carrier density will also be increased. So the electrical conductivity of that material will be more. So that's what we are adding that aluminum in tin oxide, and when we add lanthanum, that improves the surface structure. So the surface, the thin film should be free from the pinholes. So if you add lanthanum in tin oxide, then that negative phenomena will be overcome. So when we do this as ETL layer, so the perovskite, it is having 5 layers. That is a transparent conducting oxide layer, and then the second one is the ETL, electron transport layer, then the perovskite layer, then the fourth one is the hole transport layer, and the fifth one is the contact layer. So the 5 layers we have to make, 5 layers. So we have concentrated only on the ETL, that is the electron transport layer. So the perovskite, that is a triple cation material. That is the recipe is it's a little complicated one. That is perovskite. And HCl, that is OMED tag, that is organic material we have used. And ETL layer, as I already pointed out, that is a tin oxide doped with aluminum and lanthanum. So TCO normally we can use any kind of material. So in that case, initially we started with ETL free perovskite solar cell by having the cadmium oxide and tin oxide as the TCO layer. So we could able to improve the efficiency to the maximum level of 8.2%. So we decided to have a ETL layer, and then ETL layer we have used, and by using the ETL layer, then we could improve the efficiency to 19.3%. So the maximum reported PCE value of perovskite solar cell is 20.5. But we have a collaboration, we have Alagappa University and my group having collaboration with that is NTU, Singapore, National, that is a Nanyang Technological University. So we could able to make many devices, that is a perovskite devices. So the perovskite device that gave us a very good result, that is a 19.3%. So the 19.3%, so we have to make the reproducibility of the result, that's most important. So we check the values with 25 devices. So the 25 devices that gave an average PC value of 19.3. And the stability is one of the most important factor as far as perovskite solar cell is concerned. So the stability was very good. So when compared to SnO2, that is a tin oxide, is used as an ETL. So when we dope aluminum and lanthanum, that improves the stability. So the reason is the recombination resistance of the perovskite solar cell was high. So the recombination resistance should be high, and then the output circuit voltage and short circuit current density, fill factor, so everything was good while doping aluminum and lanthanum. So we could able to publish that paper in a very high reputed journal, that is the Journal of Power Sources, which is having impact factor of nearly 11. So recently we have published the paper. So now we are next stage is to make the material for commercialization. So that's one part of work we have done recently. And another part I would like to say the lithium niobate. So lithium niobate crystal we have developed. So the lithium niobate is one of the most important material which is having all the properties: piezoelectric property, pyroelectric property, nonlinear property, many properties the single material is having. Our aim is to make optical memory device using the lithium niobate crystal. So the while using lithium niobate crystal as an optical memory device, the main problem is the stability. So by optical memory, now we are using the pen drives as the memory device. The pen drive, the technology behind the pen drive, so it's the top, the layer, it's the top layer is being used for storage, only the layer. So that is a magnetic, if you make any change in the magnetic property of the top layer, then where you can store the information, So that's a simple phenomena. So the pen drives at the maximum you can store some 40 GB or 50 GB, that's the maximum one can do. But our research is on using a single crystal, so the entire bulk of the crystal should be used for storing the information. So entire bulk. So when we use, but in this case we have to use different lasers with the different wavelengths. So the main phenomena is the simple. There's a valence band and then conduction band. Valence band and conduction band. Intermediately you will have some other band structure. So normally lithium niobate will have some deficiency of lithium. So that produce one more band in between valence band and conduction band. So when you excite electron from the valence band to the conduction band via the intermediate band, so the electron will be excited to the conduction band and that will be trapped by the metastable state. So in the metastable state you can keep the information, metastable state. So by using pure lithium niobate we cannot store the information for a long time. So that is the thing we found from the pure lithium niobate. So we wanted to improve the lifetime of the stored information. So in that case we doped manganese. So manganese is a deeper state atom. You know, the manganese which is having the EV that is 3.2. So it is in a deeper state. So we have chosen manganese as a dopant. So while using manganese as a dopant, we could improve the lifetime from 6 months to 3 years. 6 months to 3 years. So the pure when you use the pure lithium niobate, so the maximum storage time will be 6 months, but it is having a very high storage capacity. So we analyzed, we tested the storage capacity of 1 cubic centimeter of the crystal. We could able to store some 5 terabits of information in a cubic centimeter of a crystal. So that's the one advantage. And the second advantage is how fast you are storing the information and how fast you are retrieving the information from the storage medium. So we found that the storage speed was 5 GB per second. So it's an unimaginable speed. So the present technology, that is a pen drive or the hard drive, so at the maximum you can retrieve the information at the speed of some 100 MB or at the maximum 500 MB per second. That's the maximum one can achieve. But when you use the manganese doped lithium niobate crystal as a storage medium, so we could able to retrieve the information at the speed of 5 GB per second. That is a 5,000 mg. That is a megabit per second. So that much of result we got from manganese doped lithium niobate. So the thing is, even though we could able to improve the lifetime from 6 months to 3 years, but that is not sufficient. So if you store the information and if you keep the information for at least 10 years, then that could come into the market. So now the research work is going on to improve the lifetime of the stored information. So that is the second part of my research, and that work was published in Journal of Applied Physics and Applied Physics Letters. And then one more topic we have chosen is the supercapacitors. So supercapacitors, nowadays everyone speaks about supercapacitors. It's the energy storage capacitor. So in that aspect, we could able to do very good research using Mn2O3 as the positive electrode material, and then that is a carbon, activated carbon was used as the negative electrode, and the KOH, and then one more additive we have used as an electrolyte. So in that case we could get a very good result, and the fabricated supercapacitors we have connected with the external energy sources like solar cell or by wind. So through the solar cell, the energy obtained from the solar cell that could be stored in the supercapacitor, and we have tested it. Then by discharging we could able to light up some of the LEDs. So that is practically we could able to do, and these works were published in very good journal, that is a Journal of Energy Material, Advanced Material, and then one more paper that is a Nano Energy, which is having impact factor of 19.1. So these are all some of the applications we could able to do, and one more topic we have chosen is DKDP, deuterated KDP, as a crystal. So that crystal we have used it for electro-optic modulators. So electro-optic modulators we have fabricated. So these electro-optic modulators were used in one of the ISRO laboratories in Udaipur. So they have a very giant telescope, and in the telescope they kept our electro-optic modulator, and they are studying variety of characteristics of the sun. So how much UV radiation coming from the sun, and what is the impact of this hazardous fossil fuel, and how it affects the atmosphere. So what is the content of the carbon dioxide, and the black spots inside the sun. So these kind of studies are going on in one of the ISRO laboratories in Udaipur, where we used our electro-optic modulator is the prime component in the telescope. So we have successfully studied the characteristics of the sun and the changes in the atmosphere through our electro-optic modulator. So these crystals we have grown in our laboratory, that is DKDP crystal, and the same electro-optic modulator we used for audio and video modulation. And video modulation. So just by sending signal through wire, so there are lot of distortions, and the noise level will be more. But at the same time, when you use electro-optic modulator for the transmitting device, so we can transmit the signal, either audio signal or video signal, to any distance without any distortion. So that we have tested at Anna University, that is Electronics and Communication Laboratory at Anna University. So it was performing very well. So my research was totally focused on not only making the papers, and they should be useful for something useful for the society. So it should have some application. But all the people, all the students are really very capable students. But only thing is we have to trigger the student. So the staff members, if you trigger the students, they will do very excellent, marvelous research. So nowadays, only publishing paper is not sufficient. The patenting is important, and you should have the research should be oriented with industry. So Alagappa University now focusing on industry collaboration and consultancy. So I could see the different scenario in different world-class universities. So particularly I saw in the Monash University, Australia, where they are concentrating on the consultancy work. So through consultancy only they could able to run the huge, very big institution, that is a Monash University. And our government, the Tamil Nadu government as well as the Indian government, now focusing on the skill development activities, and then the industry related activities. So the previously the industries, so we cannot say the industry in India, so they are purely doing the business, not the industrialist. So except I think Tatas, so others are purely the business people. So if they put 10 rupees and they want to take out 100 rupees or 1000 rupees from 10. So that's the thing happened in the past. But now the mindset of the industrialist is slowly changing. So now the industries are coming forward to have a collaboration with the institutions, good institutions, and they are ready to sponsor and they are ready to provide many projects for the institution. So I could see many places in Japan. So I had been in Japan for 4 years. So every lab is being supported by the industry. So the industry people, they are fully supporting the institution, and the product which is developed at the institution is going to the industry. So the industry is getting benefited, at the same time the institution is also getting benefited. So that kind of scenario nowadays we are expecting in our land, that is in India. So otherwise it is very difficult to support all the institutions by the government. So the industries should come forward to support the institution, and for the industry we have to be the student, we have to be ready to support the industry, and we have to enhance our skill, and we have to enhance our knowledge, we have to update our knowledge. So otherwise it is very difficult to survive in India. You know, the population of India is now the number 1. So yesterday our India has crossed the population of China. So it's really become very competitive. So we have to enrich our skill and we have to enrich our knowledge. So then only we can survive. But you all have high capable people. Then if you just tune your knowledge, definitely you can come up very well. So as far as today's international conference is concerned, it's an excellent topic which has been chosen for this conference. I really very much happy to see the proceedings of this 2 days international conference. I am really thank the people, those who are involved in making the proceedings and conducting this wonderful conference. So I take this opportunity to wish all of you to become an entrepreneur and to become a knowledge source in near future. So thank you very much for the given opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words, which has motivated us and filled our minds with immense knowledge within a short period of time. Next, we will move on to distribution of prizes and certificates. Now over to the prize in charges.
Good evening to everyone present here at this prize distribution ceremony. Giving thanks to the world and best thing you can do, and the world will give back to you. We feel greatly privileged and honored to acknowledge the achievements of our participants and the paper presentators who made this international conference proud. I would like to call upon Dr. K. Rajan, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, to announce the prizes.
A very good evening to everyone present here. I feel very privileged and honored to read out the names of our participants, paper presenters, and winners of this 2 days international conference. I cordially invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor to distribute the prizes and certificates to the candidates, along with our Principal, Dr. Christiana Singh. Let me read out the names of the participants. Participants, come and collect their certificates as I read the names. Participants of International Conference: N. Durga Devi, Mangayakarsi College of Arts and Science for Women. E. Shankari Bala, Mangayakarsi College of Arts and Science for Women. N. Karthik Kumar, Mezura College, Madurai. Dr. N. Savita Devi, Arulanandar College, Madurai. P. Sudhasini, Nada Saraswati College of Arts and Science, Theni. M. Satya, Nada Saraswati College of Arts and Science, Theni. P. Kaliraj, Ayanara Janayamal College, Sivahasi. R. Bhuvaneshwari, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai. M. P. Jaya, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai. M. Kavya, Madurai Kamaraj University. G. Cassie of Sundar, Majura College, Madurai. A. Adi Abhinesh, Majura College, Madurai. K. Sopika, Majura College. V. Aishwarya Lakshmi, Nada Saraswati College of Arts and Science, Theni. C. Bhagyalakshmi, St. Xavier's College, Palayamkottai. S. Jayalakshmi, St. Xavier's College, Palayamkottai. Sajini, Manonmaniyam Sundarnar University, Tirunelveli. S. Sanjida Banu, Manonmaniyam Sundarnar University, Tirunelveli. Kumar Hema, Tyagarajar College, Madurai. Dinesh Christy, Alahappa Government Arts College, Karaikudi. Maya Krishnan, Alahappa University, Karaikudi. S. Karthik Raja, Pachayappa's College, Chennai. K. Aravindan, Pachayappa's College, Chennai. K. A. Karthik, Tyagarajar College, Madurai. A. Jashwini, Tyagarajar College, Madurai. H. Renuha, Tyagarajar College, Madurai. N. Shakti Devi, Sri Meenakshi Government Arts College for Women, Madurai. Mahalakshmi, Sri Meenakshi Government Arts College for Women, Madurai. M. Naganandini, Nada Saraswati College of Arts and Science, Theni. Next, let me read out the names of the paper presenter. A. Jashwini, Tyagarajar College. A. Jashwini, Tyagarajar College. M. Kavya, Madurai Kamaraj University. R. Bhuvaneshwari, Madurai Kamaraj University. Miss Sindhuja, Department of Physics, Ladado College. MP Jaya, Madurai Kamaraj University. C. Bhagyalakshmi, St. Xavier's College, Palayam Kottai. N. Karthik Kumar, Mazura College. Pooja Priyadashini, Scholar, Department of Physics, Leredo College. Ramutai, Nada Saraswati College. K.A. Karthik, Tyagarajar College. Ishwari, Jayaraj Annabakyam College. Kumar Hema, Tyagarajar College. Sanjida Banu, Manonmaniyam Sundarnath University. Maya Krishnan, Alahappa University. Aravindan, Pachayappa's College, Chennai. Next item is the best oral presentation certificate is awarded to 3 candidates. Kavya, Manonmaniyam Sundarnath University, Tirunelveli. Kumar Hema, Tyagarajar College, Madurai. Bhagyalakshmi, St. Xavier's College, Palayam Kottai. The next item is Best Paper Award. The Best Poster Award and the Memento of Honor is awarded to Sejani Amas University, Manonmaniyam Sundarnath University, Tirunelveli. On the title, Advanced Electrode Materials of Ag2MOO Nanoparticles Prepared via Hydrothermal Method. The Best Oral Presentation and the Memento of Honor is awarded to Ms. Pooja Priyadashini, Department of Chemists, on the topic Effect of Natural Binders in LiFePO4 Cathode for Lithium-ion Batteries. The Best Oral Presentation Award and the Memento of Honor is awarded to Mr. K.A. Karthik, Research Scholar, Department of Chemistry, Tyagarajar College, Madurai, on the topic Small Molecules Fluorescent Probe, Ratiometric and the Selective Detection of Sodium Ions for Imaging and Solid State Sensing Applications. And the Best Paper Presentation Virtual Mode is awarded to Dr. Bill and Dr. Wasim. They will receive the certificate by mail. I also request our MSc students, MSc Physics and MSc Chemistry students to receive the certificates. I request the representatives of MSc Chemistry and MSc Physics to come and collect the certificates. MSc Physics and MSc Chemistry. Thank you, sir and madam, for distributing the prizes and certificates. Congratulations, winners. Thank you.
And thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to invite Mrs. S. Madhya, Associate Professor, Department of Chemistry, Ladybird College, to present the conference report.
A pleasant evening to one and all gathered here. I am delighted to present the report on the two-day conference on functional materials for sustainable energy and environment, FMSEE'23, organized by the Department of Chemistry and Physics, Ladybird College, on 30th and 31st of January 2023 via hybrid mode. FMSEE'23 has extended global outreach efforts to invite speakers and attendees from many nations around the world. The event encompassed several technical sessions addressed by leading academicians, industrialists, and researchers who shared their recent innovations, trends in materials research, the practical challenges encountered, and the solutions adopted through functional materials for sustainable energy and environment. The main objectives of FMSEE'23 is to enable the students and the young researchers to explore interdisciplinary areas of research and to provide a platform to interact with the eminent scientists in the field of functional materials for sustainable energy and environment. This is also to facilitate the exchange of ideas and experiences to form scientific partnership and research collaboration. The guests of honor for the international conference are Professor Dr. J. Kumar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Madurai Kamaraj University, Madurai, Professor Dr. Sabu Thomas, Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, and Professor Dr. G. Ravi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor and Head, the Department of Physics, Karaikudi, Tamil Nadu. The international conference comprised of national and international resource persons in the field of energy and environment. Professor Surendra Kumar Daka, Professor, Rajasthani University, University of Delhi, Dr. Sivanesan Arumugham, Business Manager, Electrochemistry and Spectroscopy, Metrohem, Australia, Dr. Maria Christie, Researcher, Department of Energy, Engineering, Hanyang University, South Korea, Dr. Pala Vivo, Associate Professor, Faculty of Engineering and Natural Sciences, Tampere University, Finland, Dr. L. Giribabu, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR, IICT Hyderabad, Dr. Shruti Surya Kumar, Project Scientist, Nanomaterials and Energy Devices Lab, School of Physics, ISET Trivandrum, were the resource persons for the technical sessions. The conference provided the platform for the young researchers to present their research findings through oral, poster and virtual presentations, which is comprising of 11 international and 48 national participants. 60 students and research scholars, 29 faculty members of the Department of Chemistry and Physics, Ladybird College, has participated in the conference. The moderators of the oral presentations, virtual presentations and poster presentations were Professor Surendra Kumar Daka, Professor, Rajasthani College, University of Delhi, India, Dr. S. Shailaja, Assistant Professor from the Department of Chemistry, the Standard Fireworks Rajaratnam College for Women, Sivakasi, Dr. Rajkumar Palniswamy, a postdoctoral researcher from the Kunsan National University, Department of Nano and the Chemical Engineering, South Korea, and Dr. Shruti Surya Kumar, Project Scientist, ISET Trivandrum. The best presentations award was given to 7 participants: Mr. K.A. Karthik from the Department of Chemistry, Tyagaraja College; Ms. Pooja Priyadashni from the Department of Physics, Lerido College; Ms. C. Bhagyalakshmi, the Energy Research Center of St. Xavier's College, Palayamkote; Ms. M. Sindhuja from the Department of Physics, Lerido College; Ms. R. Shejini, Department of Physics, Manonmaniam Sundarnar University; Mr. Bill, National Isotope Center, New Zealand; Mr. Wasim Malik from the Department of Biochemistry, Aligarh; Ms. Kumar Hema from the Department of Chemistry, Tyagaraja College. The 2-day proceedings of the conference were published in the Lerido College in-house journal Aspire. The peer reviewers for the in-house journal Aspire are Dr. Kalimuthu, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, the Gandhigram Institute; Dr. Shweta Rani, Assistant Professor from the Department of Physics, Tyagaraja College, Madurai; Dr. Rekha T.N. Fila, UK; Dr. R. Nimma Isabet, Associate Professor and Head Department of Physics; Dr. V. Sridevi, Associate Professor and Head Department of Chemistry; Dr. S.K. Suja, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Lerido College; Dr. S. Sinthika, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Lerido College, Madurai. The 2-day conference was financially supported by the college management and the sponsors from various companies. The entire event was well executed and convened under the great leadership of Dr. S.K. Suja, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, and Dr. S. R.O.K. Shamla Paniyasi, Assistant Professor from the Lerido College. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for a crisp and clear report. Gratitude is a divine emotion which fills the heart by a rekindled spark. I would now welcome Dr. S. Elilarasi, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Lerido College, to render the vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all present here. Thank you is such prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this special occasion on behalf of Department of Physics and Chemistry. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making this occasion a resounding success. I, on behalf of the college management and organizing committee of FMSEE'23, convey my deep regard and hearty thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. G. Ravi, Vice Chancellor of Alahappa University. Thank you, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule to grace the occasion. I take this opportunity to express my deep regards to our principal, Dr. Christiana Singh, for being a constant source of motivation and as a pillar of strength in all our endeavors. Thank you, ma'am. Secondly, I would extend my warm regards and heartfelt thanks to our Vice Principal, Chaplain, Bursar, and all other administrators on this occasion. I would like to thank our chairpersons, Dr. Arnima Elizabeth, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Physics, and Dr. V. Sridevi, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Chemistry, for their constant help and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. Thank you, ma'am. Next, I would like to thank the torch bearers of this event, our conveners, Dr. R.O.K. Shamla Paniyasi, Assistant Professor of Physics, and Dr. Suja, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, for leading and inspiring us in working towards the goal of conducting this conference in grand manner. I grab this opportunity to thank Ms. Madhya, Organizing Secretary of FMSEE, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, for her constant support and involvement. My heart fills with lots of gratitude and respect for our distinguished guest speakers, Dr. Giri Babu, Dr. Surendra Kumar Daka, Dr. Palav Vivo, Dr. Suvanesan Arumugam, Dr. Marie Christie, and Dr. Shruti Suri Kumar for enlightening us with their commendable talk. I am also very much thankful to all program advisory committee members and reviewers. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape the conference. I am running short of words to express my humble thanks to moderators for doing oral and poster evaluation for us. You have provided us with valuable support in enriching the FMSE 2023. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. It requires meticulous planning, execution, and an eye for precise details. My words of thankfulness will not suffice to the committee members for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zone. Now, I would like to acknowledge and express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every members of various committee who shouldered the responsibilities equally for the successful conduct of the International Conference FMSEE'23. Committee members list is displayed in digital board. I thank each and everyone. Next, with a deep sense of appreciation, we thank our loving teaching and non-teaching staff members for their untiring efforts. Furthermore, this is the momentous day in our Lady Dog history. As we have hosted this grand international conference in our college, on behalf of our college, I would like to extend my thankfulness to all the participants from other colleges and all the delegates across all the streams, beginning from researchers to all the academicians of science and technology. I also cannot overlook the efforts of our student volunteers who worked dedicatedly for this conference. I am also thankful to our college PRO, Dr. Sangaranachia. She supported in all possible manner to organize this conference. My sincere thanks to Dr. Padmaja, Coordinator, Center for Information and Technology, and Assistant Professor of Physics, Lady Dog College, for her help and support at various stages. At this juncture, I would also like to thank the members of CAT and CCM for various help we received towards this conference. I render my thanks to our logo designer, Ms. Jasmine Dula Salome, Ms. Subhashni Devi, and brochure designer, Ms. Ilakya, for their contribution. Special word of appreciation to Mr. Nallatambi, Elshrai Printers, for his tireless effort and timely help in printing the Aspire in-house journal. I would like to thank the people who work behind the scenes to make this event happen. Our technical team, stage setting team, and light arrangement team. And special thanks to Mr. Madhavan, Mr. Darwin, Mr. Sundar, and Mr. Pupandi for their support. We thank our college management, donors and sponsors of the event for the financial support. Thank you very much. We recognize with gratitude their significant contribution. I am glad to stand here to express my vote of thanks on this occasion to the members of the media for evincing interest in covering the event and all good hearts who work behind the screen. We, Lady Dog College, along with participants from other colleges and the universities, feel enlightened and believe that we got to learn many things from this conference for a better future. Words would fall short of describing how much knowledge we could extract from this conference and the important networks we could create and establish in the near future. I hope we continue to organize such events in the future for the empowerment and enhancement of the scientific knowledge of our student community. Once again, thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for warm words of gratitude. On behalf of the Department of Chemistry and Physics, Lady Dog College, I extend my warm, heartfelt thanks to all the participants for your untiring participation and making the FMSEE'23 a grand success. Thank you. Let's all rise for the national anthem. I request you all to stand up.
Shubha